In Ganpati year,
Yeah,
how do you,
Ganapatya.
how is like non-veg versus veg looked at? Is it a health related thing? Are there
Yes.
strict rules with food? Um, and generally speaking, from a larger lens, what is your opinion on the rules of diet with respect to Sanatan Dharma in general? Because I get very varied answers whenever I ask
Yes,
this
yes.
question.
In all the sampradayas, you would always have three categories of followers. One very sattvic, which go with by the law, by the rule, and they are very strict about food habits and about sensory inputs and about celibacy and about spending the energy in a particular way and not in a particular way, about the sangat and susangati and not never kusangati. They're very strict. There are rajasic people who are more celebrating. They like colorful gate, very beautiful celebrations with their bhakti. They're rajasic people, and often they are business oriented and people who are having material pursuits in this world and can afford elaborate celebrations, etc. And then you have tamasic followers who are exploratory, and they often get attracted to tantric practices, and they have backgrounds that do not suddenly want to jump into a sattvic way of life. For instance, if somebody is born in a non vegetarian family and has been eating non vegetarian food like food, it's food for them. Like you have fish for someone born in Bengal, or like in Kerala, you have seafood as is there. It's like staple food for them. So the non-vegetarian food I don't critically look at the food per se. It's after a certain stage of development of a sadhak that he needs to be very watchful about how the energy is moving in me. So the beginning stages, whatever family background you belong to, culture you belong to, you need not rebel against it. One need not rebel against it. The food is not bad, but what it does to you is bad after a
Mm.
point.
Mm.
So when you reach a certain level of sadhana, where your meditation is getting intense, and then you know yourself. For instance, if I eat urad ki dal 2 or 3 days at stretch, my body can feel the heaviness, and I can't meditate. Similarly with onions or garlic or anything that is, so your energy system then after some time. So not to critically speak about non-vegetarian food, I say that any kind of food which is there in your refrigerator and in your kitchen can be good or bad for you. You have to identify your energy, this thing. So because non-vegetarian food is difficult to digest and creates a lot of tamasic heaviness. When you say tamas, it does not mean you become a bad person. It means it creates heaviness in the body, energy that you have to fight with then to become light in your being. It gives you more. Tamas means more heaviness. When you're meditating, you feel sleepy. When you want to exercise, you can't. When you want to do long couplets, long chants, then you can't. And your mind will then say, "Aj bas hai, it's enough, I've done this much." So that procrastination and that heaviness in the mind and body comes with anything that does not digest easily, and could be even a black lentil.
Mm.
Could be even a black lentil. That's why when you reach a yogic level of sadhana, then people take only little khichdi, or they take very little. They don't even eat all the elaborate food which is there, because everything leaves an impact on the pranic system. So I don't view at that thing critically. It's not that, oh, he's a non-vegetarian person, should not be brought here, or that's a wrong way to talk about it. It's a staple food for many of the states that we know about, many of the countries that we know about, right? So we don't view at it negatively. It's for every individual on his marga of sadhana and bhakti, for him to decide what is not doing good to my body, I stop it.
Mm.
Similarly, it goes with Panchamakara, we talk about the tantric sampradayas. Most of the tantric sampradayas, especially the Vamacharya sects, Panchamakaras are allowed. Panchamakaras means mamsa, madira, that is alcohol, or then maithuna, which is sex, and mudra. So these panchamakaras are actually banned things in spiritual practices. in Sanatan Dharma or in any, but these are used by a lot of the sampradayas. They're allowed, not used, they're allowed by a lot of the sampradayas. The compassionate approach being that if these are there in your life, then you need to watch, observe, and grow over them. Say, for instance, celibacy is an important aspect in many yogic streams because it saves energy. But if somebody is an householder, then you cannot ask the person to become a celibate when he has his dharmic duties towards his spouse. So watchful, all the 5 things one needs to be watchful about and taken in moderation to begin with and eventually transcend. As you progress on the path, then you are asked to transcend. So sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic approach to sadhana is there in all the sampradayas, be it Devi sadhana, be it Shaivite. You have in Shiva's sampradaya also, you have the deities are there where there is alcohol offered to the devata. There is plant medicines that people consume, but it's not because the devata wants you to get addicted to these things. It's because the devata wants you to transcend and eventually go over it. So the beauty of Sanatan Dharma is that our tradition, Indian Vedic tradition, is that for every level of person, there is a path. The crudest of the person who does not know any language or refinement in their being, for him also there is sadhana. There is a deity. You see people in tribals and villages and all, there are Kula Devatas, Kula Devis, their very crude practices are there, but they do it with faith and they transcend. And it's not the journey of one life, right? It is the journey of many lifetimes. So over the lifetimes, they refine and they come on better, cleaner ways of worship. These are all stages of evolution. Our bhakti also evolves. And you see that in one lifetime also. As you were 10 years back, as you are now, and as you would be 10 years later, you would be able to trace the journey. Similarly, it is with many lifetimes. Yeah.